Beautiful people, welcome back. Today, we're diving into the journey of Sigma females, but from a whole new perspective. Ever wondered what it was like for a Sigma female growing up? Before the confidence, the independence, and that undeniable sense of self she carries as an adult, there were years of unique challenges that shaped her. These are the experiences that make a Sigma female who she is. But the world rarely sees this side. Today, we're breaking down 10 harsh truths that Sigma females often experience as children. From feeling different to embracing solitude, these early experiences may not be easy, but they are the bedrock of her strength and individuality. So grab a cozy seat, maybe your favorite drink, and settle in. And if you want more empowering insights like this, hit that subscribe button and join this community where we're all about inspiring, impactful living. Let's dive into the world of the Sigma female, one harsh truth at a time. Number 1, feeling different from day one. All right, beautiful people, here's the first truth. Sigma females feel different from day one. Imagine a young girl on the playground, surrounded by groups forming, friendships blossoming, and games unfolding. But rather than jumping in, she stands back, observing from a distance, intrigued yet unfazed by the need to belong. This difference isn't about feeling superior or being shy. It's a deep-seated sense of independence. Even as a child, a Sigma female instinctively knows she doesn't need to be part of the crowd to feel whole. But let's be honest, feeling different from everyone else can be a lonely journey. Imagine being a kid and sensing that you're not quite like the others. It can be isolating, especially in a world where blending in is celebrated. But this very trait is what makes her extraordinary. It's the beginning of her self-awareness, her independence, and the unique perspective she brings to the world. Number 2, embracing independence early. Sigma females are born with a fiercely independent spirit, and here's where it gets interesting. They embrace it very young. Picture a young girl who doesn't need hand-holding to learn or figure things out. When the teacher assigns a project, she's already brainstorming on her own, or when there's a challenge, she's the first to tackle it solo. But this independence is a double-edged sword. On one side, she learns self-reliance, gaining skills to handle almost anything life throws at her. On the other, she's seen as serious or even distant. While other kids may rely on parents or teachers for guidance, she's already figuring it out. Independence might seem like a gift, but it can be heavy for a young girl. Growing up without a strong reliance on others makes her resilient, but it can feel isolating too. Yet, this is the foundation that will one day make her a powerhouse of self-assurance and strength. Number 3, sensitivity to phony behavior. Beautiful people, have you ever met a kid who can see right through fake behavior? That's the Sigma female as a child, a natural detector of inauthenticity. She senses when someone isn't being genuine. And it's not just a hunch, it's an instinct that gets sharper with time. This trait doesn't make childhood any easier. She's the one who stays away from cliques, and she's likely to question why people behave a certain way. For others, she may seem too discerning for her age, or even aloof, because she won't play along with the typical games. Her peers might not understand why she's distant, but to her it's simple. She values real over fake, even if it means being a little lonely. This ability becomes her shield. She doesn't need to worry about being misled because she sees the truth of people's intentions, even if others don't. And although it might isolate her, it's her gift of discernment that makes her relationships genuine and her sense of self unshakable. Number 4, preferring solitude over socializing. Now, this one is classic Sigma female. While most kids are busy organizing playdates and staying socially active, she finds peace in solitude. She's the kid you'll find reading, creating, or getting lost in her own world rather than following the crowd. Some might think she's shy or introverted, but that's far from the truth. It's not about avoiding people, it's about valuing her own company. And that, my friends, is a powerful realization for a young child. Imagine being a kid and knowing you don't need others to entertain you. You've got a world of ideas, imagination, and curiosity that keeps you content. Sure, people may misunderstand her solitude, sometimes labeling her as antisocial or distant, But for the Sigma female, solitude is not just a preference. It's a sanctuary. This early love for solitude becomes the bedrock of her future independence and creativity. Number 5. Challenging the norms. If there's one thing you'll never see a young Sigma female do, it's following the status quo without question. From an early age, she's the one asking why, or what if we did it differently, where other kids might simply accept things as they are. Picture this. She's the kid in the classroom who challenges a rule that doesn't make sense or raises her hand to ask the teacher about something beyond what's written in the textbook. It's not because she's rebellious. It's because she's curious and she thinks independently. This willingness to question the world around her sets her apart, often earning her labels like troublemaker or challenging. But little do they know, this trait is what makes her a leader in the making. She's unafraid to challenge norms, even if it comes with criticism. And while this road can be tough as a child, it builds her courage to stand up for what she believes in. Number 6. Dealing with misunderstandings. A young Sigma female is no stranger to being misunderstood. She's often seen as mysterious, distant, or even cold because she doesn't easily open up or play into social expectations. But the truth is, she's just comfortable in her own skin. Imagine being a kid and constantly hearing others say you're weird or aloof just because you prefer to do things differently. It's tough, especially when you're just trying to be yourself. While other kids might seek constant validation, she doesn't feel the need to explain herself. And that's where this harsh truth builds her inner resilience. She learns early on that not everyone will get her, and that's okay. What matters is that she understands herself. And that understanding becomes her shield against the judgment and misunderstandings of the world. Number 7. Developing a strong sense of purpose. Beautiful people, here's a remarkable thing about Sigma females. They're driven by purpose from an early age. While others are content just going with the flow, she's drawn to things that matter, even if she doesn't fully understand why yet. Imagine this young girl, intensely focused on a project or an idea that lights her up, while her peers are moving from one trend to another. It's not that she's trying to be different. It's that she values things with meaning. Whether it's a cause she believes in, an interest she's deeply drawn to, or a goal she set her mind on, she finds satisfaction in meaningful pursuits over the trivial. Sure, it makes her stand out, but this focus on purpose gives her life direction, even from a young age. It's a quality that sets her up for a life of intention, clarity, and fulfillment. Number 8. Struggling with surface-level conversations. Let's be real. Small talk is not the Sigma female's thing, even as a kid. While other kids are busy chatting about the latest toy or gossiping about each other, she finds herself bored by anything surface level. This doesn't make her antisocial, but it does mean that she's selective with her conversations. For her, it's not about talking just to fill the silence. It's about having conversations that matter. While others might see her as quiet or even disengaged, she's actually just saving her energy for things that resonate with her. This early tendency means she often builds fewer but deeper friendships, relationships that bring real connection and mutual understanding. This gift for meaningful connection is what makes her friendships genuine and her interactions purposeful. Number 9. Building emotional fortitude. A Sigma female learns early that life isn't always smooth sailing, and she often faces challenges that require her to grow up a little faster than others. Through these early trials, she builds a remarkable emotional resilience that will serve her throughout her life. She learns to comfort herself, pick herself up after disappointments, and move forward, often without relying on others for emotional support. This isn't because she doesn't have emotions, quite the opposite. She feels deeply but knows how to keep it together, even in tough times. It's this emotional strength that makes her unshakable as she grows older. While others may be rattled by setbacks, she's learned to handle them with grace and inner resolve, making her a true force of nature. Number 10. Learning to prioritize quality over quantity in relationships. Finally, Sigma females don't build large social circles. They build meaningful ones. She values quality over quantity, choosing friendships that add depth and richness to her life over a wide circle of acquaintances. As a young girl, this might look like having just one or two close friends, rather than being the social butterfly. And while this may seem unusual to others, it's the basis for her future relationships. She doesn't waste energy on superficial connections, choosing instead to invest in bonds that bring real value and joy to her life. This early awareness of quality over quantity in relationships becomes a cornerstone of her emotional well-being and resilience. So, there you have it, beautiful people. 10 harsh truths about the Sigma female's childhood that paved the way for her strength, independence, and undeniable presence. Growing up with these unique traits is no easy journey, but it's what makes her extraordinary. If you found yourself in these stories or know someone who might, share this video with them. And if you haven't yet, subscribe and stay with us for more content that uplifts, informs, and inspires. Having said this, remember to stay true to yourself, no matter how the world sees you. Until next time, keep shining, keep growing, and keep inspiring.